Hey, it's the 3 by 5 guy. News, views, and reviews scribbled on index cards. I'm up from the bunker again, where I've been since the election, just to make this broadcast. Also to escape the spiders. And lately, I've had these chipmunks. I think they're getting in the air duct. If they start dying in there, I'm really in trouble. Today, can we coexist with Trumpies? I'll give you a couple of anecdotes. A neighbor of mine, a nice man, regular guy, doesn't seem to have a mean bone in his body. Not long before the election, he placed a Trump sticker on his car. And we had a Harris a lawn sign in our window. So I find myself sort of avoiding him, or I would just nod and say hi. And then after the election, I avoided him a little bit more. I try not to be cold. I just didn't want to talk to him. But he noticed something was wrong, so he called me up and asked if we were okay. I said, honestly, I've been pretty upset since Harris lost. So he goes, yeah, I know what... He told me kind of know what that felt like because the Yankees had just won the World Series. He's a big Yankees fan. And the Cowboys were having a losing season. So I'm going, wow, what? He had no idea of the importance of the election to many of us, especially me, comparing it to a sporting event. But so I said to him, I'd known this for a while. I said, it's not really fair of me to take it out on you. So, we're good. But in point of fact, I'm not really going to be talking to him much anymore. I'll just try to be a tiny bit more friendly when I see him. It's a fine line to walk. I just don't want him to think I'm shunning him. It really isn't fair to him. And then this much older woman, late 70s maybe, who I was somewhat friendly with. She's pretty bright, or I thought she was. The last time I saw her, I brought up the subject of Trump. Man, she let into him, did not like him, ripped him up every which way. And then after the election, I saw her. She was standing beside a black lady, older black lady, who I'd also talked to about Harris, and I knew was a Harris supporter. So I assumed, but they were both upset about the election. So I said, "Hey, I bet you're both thrilled about the Trump victory." So the white lady goes, actually, I am. He's good with money, and the national debt has to be brought down. And I said to her, but the last time we spoke, you disliked him so much. I left it at that, though. What more can you say? That's another instance where I won't be talking to that person, but I'll be trying to walk a fine line of not being rude to the person. So you can see that's how I expect to handle this issue. I'd like to move on to immigration. I don't wish to single them out, but one element of the election that we are all still trying to wrap our heads around is the number of Latinos who voted for Trump. The reasons include they were disappointed with the current administration, the current Democratic presidential administration's inability to deliver for them, especially on economic issues, aka also known as inflation. Many were also concerned about a border that they and many view as porous. That's especially troubling because it smacks of pull up the ladderism, as in, I'm here, pull up the ladder. Odder still is undocumented immigrants who don't seem concerned about his plans for deportation. For instance, a woman from a BBC article, quote, in any case, I'm undocumented, so how would they know about me? Interesting reasoning. Yeah, she sounds like she's living in dreamland. But who can blame her when the prospect of her life being turned upside down looms? Another from the New York Times, quote, me worried about deportations? No, not one worry. She was a woman who emigrated from the Dominican Republic and now lives in Pennsylvania. Quote, Trump knows he needs immigrants to work. Us, we're here to work. We commit no crimes, and he has no problem with that. That being deportation. And we will not have any problem with that. That being deportation. Unfortunately, the Trump administration doesn't see her as a worker or a human being for that matter, just as someone to make political hay with. I was watching an MSNBC clip of Joy Reid interviewing Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez about the phenomenon of voters voting for both her and Trump at the same time. AOC also addressed the subject of lack of fear of deportation on the part of some of the undocumented. In response to the reasoning that deportation is only for criminals and that they are not, and that I am not a criminal, she said, what they fail to understand is that being undocumented is enough to make them a criminal. Bottom line, I'm all too happy to exist with Latinos and Trumps, some of my favorite people. I don't mean to stereotype them, but frankly, I love them. They're so warm. Trump voters, not so much. Hi and a smile is all I can muster. Well, back to the bunker. I'll see y'all next time.